Thank you, Lascan Corla. Minister, if I could ask you to detail the projected allocation of capital funding that will be made available for the Set2 Wexford campus development and the plan to ensure the development of new buildings, the delivery of additional courses, new disciplines, whilst also ensuring the provision of adequate student accommodation to the new campus in Wexford. If you could give me the details, please.
Well, thanks very much, and thanks to Deputy Murphy for raising this issue, and I know you raise it with me regularly. I think you're a former student on the Wexford campus as well. I'm delighted that we now have a South East Technological University. It's key. We've given a very, very clear commitment that as part of that, there has to be a real and meaningful campus in Wexford. They're not just my words, so they are mine too, but they're also a very clear commitment in the strategic plan that has been now published by the South East Technological University. And I know from talking to the president of the university, Professor Campbell, the chair of the university, who happens to hail from Wexford, Professor Paddy Prendergast, they really want to see this happen as well. So I'm strongly committed to the development of a high-quality campus environment in Wexford for the South East Technological University. I'm aware that it's been a long-term ambition to secure a suitable permanent campus in Wexford to facilitate higher education progression and integration in the South East. I've also met students in Wexford, particularly students in lifelong learning, who tell me they would not have been able to access third level were it not for the Wexford campus. And imagine how much more we could do if we had a fit-for-purpose modern campus as well. As the Deputy knows well, over the last number of years, South East Technological University have been working closely with Wexford County Council to help identify an appropriate site for a permanent home for the Wexford campus. As part of this engagement, a preferred site, which is well known locally, was identified. Following a very lengthy negotiation process, agreement could not be reached on price, and the Council are now progressing the acquisition of the site by way of a compulsory purchase order. This process is ongoing. My understanding is that it's ongoing a long time, but that it's almost there, and that I'm expecting to have a positive update on it next month, and I'll keep you informed. My department and the Higher Education Authority are also currently engaging with Set2 in relation to how they then wish to advance a number of capital projects across their campuses, including the Wexford campus. Whilst I'm not in a position, as you'll know, to say the budget for the Wexford campus will be X, because that's not how we fund these things. We identify projects, they go out to tender. What I can say is we're not in the business of spending a lot of money buying a major big site to leave it idle. And I will work hand in glove with the South East Technological University to make this a campus that has a real ambition in terms of scale.
Thank you, Minister. And yes, 55 acres, a substantial area for the new Wexford campus. I did speak recently with Veronica Campbell, as you mentioned, and I believe that she is looking for €7 million in relation to progress the Set2 planning application. Now, I heard you say previously to the previous deputy that you had allocated €1 million to further applications. Now, maybe I got that wrong, and that might be just in relation to student accommodation, but I think, yes, Wexford's very close to my heart, apart from the fact that I represent the constituency. The actual campus itself needs to grow. It needs to grow hugely. There's about 1,100 students currently in the campus, but we don't have any STEM courses attached. Now, Wexford is very much left behind when it comes to foreign direct investment, and one of the reasons that is because we don't have immediate access to a research unit, which is what I'm told by certain investors and by IDA, in fact. So I would expect that we need to grow the campus with STEM courses.
Just to absolutely assure you, the 1 million was in reference just to money being given to the technological universities for planning for student accommodation. We have a much larger capital budget available, and in fact we have a new fund called the Technological Sector Strategic Projects Fund, the TSSPF, and it is this fund that will be available to Professor Campbell and others to take forward projects, including the project at the Wexford campus. You are right when it comes to the issue of research, and I think one of the big game changers of the technological universities is, of course, access to education in the regions, but it's also actually that research function and that ability to collaborate with industry that I too hear from business leaders from IDA Ireland and others is key to securing successful foreign direct investment, which I know is a key ask and issue for the people of Wexford. So look, sequentially what we need to do here is we need to secure the site. We need to allow the CPO process to conclude. We need that to conclude with a degree of urgency and haste. And then I will be working very closely with the South East Technological University on what their master plan for the Wexford campus looks like. It's a matter for them to determine which courses they wish to provide on which campus campus, but I'll work very closely with them.
Thanks, Minister. And today, you know, Rosslare Europort has been named Port of the Year in Malmö, Sweden, so congratulations to them. I'm glad to have played my part. But equally, we have a young Waterford. I'm not sure, is he a scientist or what, biochemical engineer, something of that nature, but he's actually doing research in my own village of Ramasgrange. A local farmer has given him land to carry out research on carbon capturing. Now, that's at Waterford chap in County Wexford. We have to have the availability to combine with the Department of Environment and the Department of Agriculture, both situated in Wexford. It makes absolute sense that the new campus in Wexford would facilitate a research centre and STEM courses. And I just ask that that's primary. I know the capital infrastructure that's purported for set 2 is in the region of 300 million. At least that was the ask, and I can see that that's the need. But when is the question, and delivery is what's paramount. We cannot tell farmers in 10 years' time that what we're telling them today is wrong. We need this research and we need it now. Thank you, Minister.
Well, I agree with you on the last point. I mean, I'm so fed up of the kind of lectury tone that happens towards farmers, and it really needs to stop. I mean, farmers know better than most about climate. They're out on the farm while we're here talking about it in the Dáil. They can see the changes. They want a sustainability. I heard this at the ploughing yesterday. And research is our friend here, actually, helping come up with innovative ways. And we're funding a number of research projects through Science Foundation Ireland. And you're right, the technological universities are well placed to further accelerate that work in partnership with farmers. We need food. We need agriculture. How do we do it in a sustainable way? So I agree with you fully on that, and congrats to Rosslare Europort as well. I think we just have to take one little step back. We didn't have a university in the southeast not that long ago, and we now do. Many people, not you, many people doubted we'd ever get one. We now have one. It's going pretty well. It's going well in terms of the leadership. It's going well in terms of the scale of ambition. It's going well in terms of the number of applications through the CAO this year being up on last year. But I also fully accept that for it to reach its full potential, it needs major capital investment, including a fit-for-purpose Wexford campus, and it needs student accommodation. And they're my next two priorities: the capital investment, Waterford Crystal site, Wexford campus site, the potential for a veterinary college.